Hi, I did this video already once, but then I pushed the wrong buttons and it's lost someplace. So I have to do it again. So I don't remember exactly how I did it, but we'll try. I want to do a poem. This is a poem that everybody that learns Spanish should do. And you'll remember it. You'll remember it for 30, 40 years once you memorize it, because I have students that do. Okay, let's read it together. Juventud, juventud, divino tesoro, ya te vas para no volver. Cuando quiero llorar, no lloro, y a veces lloro sin querer. Can you guess what it means? Okay, let me move this a little bit. Juventud is youth. Juventud. And it's a divine treasure. Divino tesoro. Okay? So it's juventud, divino tesoro. Divine treasure. And then, you know, va means go. So it says ya, that means now. Ya te vas means now you go. Say it with me. Ya te vas. So we always say that to a friend. Ya te vas? Are you going? So it says, Juventud divino tesoro. Ya te vas. So youth, divine treasure. Now you go. For no volver. To not revolve again. Not to come back again. Do it again. Juventud divino tesoro. Ya te vas para no volver. Okay, so youth, divine treasure. Now you leave to not come back. Very sad poem, isn't it? Okay. Juventud divino tesoro. Ya te vas para no volver. That's another verb. Volver, to come back. Okay, let's do the second part. Cuando quiero, when. Okay, cuando is when. Cuando quiero llorar, when I want to cry. Cuando quiero llorar, it's a mother. No lloro, present tense, I don't cry. Cuando quiero llorar, no lloro. And a veces, sometimes, a veces, lloro sin querer. So it says, when I want to cry, I don't. And sometimes I cry without wanting to. Okay, all right, let's do it again. Juventud divino tesoro, ya te vas para no volver. Cuando quiero llorar, no lloro. Y a veces lloro sin querer. Now, I hope you have it written down because you absolutely must memorize it, okay? So look at it, make sure you have it written down, okay? Let's do it again. Juventud, divino tesoro, ya te vas para no volver. Cuando quiero llorar, no lloro. Y a veces lloro sin querer. All right, so which ones are the mother verbs? The ones that end in AR, ER. Okay, let's look. Volver, to come back. Volver, to revolve. That's the mother. Volver. And llorar, llorar, to cry. When I want to cry, llorar. Now, what are just present tenses? Present tense is ya te vas. Now you go, ya te vas. And quiero, I want. Quiero, I want. And lloro, I cry. Okay? Now, you should have it pretty well memorized here. Here we go. Juventud divino tesoro, ya te vas para no volver. Cuando quiero llorar, no lloro. Y a veces lloro sin querer. and it's written by Garcia Lorca, one of the most important writers in Spanish. Okay, now you memorize that. I'm going to ask you again. All right, now the next thing we're going to go to is we're going to talk about a couple of words that are exceptions. Now, I'm looking for what we can do to practice translation, so you'll see how all of these things work. And before, I went to the library and got children's books, and then I copied them, and we did all those wonderful little books that had cute little stories and illustrations. Well, I can't do that this time. So I just am worrying how to give you a text. And obviously I can't pass out copies of what we're going to do. So I'm working on some other stuff. But the first thing I found is the New Testament. And we're not the first ones to use the Bible to learn a language. That was always, in ancient times, the way that people learn languages. They compared the two languages because the Bible is always very, very exact. And so you can do that. So in the New Testament, in the book of John, in chapter 10 and 11, I've looked it over, and it has words in Spanish that I've taught you. Present tense, imperfect, progressive. It has all of those. And I will block out the tenses that you haven't had. So I'm going to give you some things that you've had before. Okay? Now, there's two. So you have to study in English. In the New Testament, John 10 is I'm the Good Shepherd. That's an easy one to do. 10 and 11 is the death of Lazarus. So that's another easy one. And it's going to be fun because you're going to see it's not a children's book. It's an adult book that we're going to start with. It's not some practice from a book to learn Spanish. It's a real language book that adults use. So that's got to be very interesting. It's interesting to me how the Bible translates certain words. Now, in Spanish, there are two past tenses. One is a preterite, that's like slap in the face or fell down. It happened one time. And they use it a lot. And when I looked at the Bible, I was so interested how in the book of Acts, they would say, he did this one time, and then it would be imperfect. He was doing it. So they use, and we don't even have two. We just have one. We just have one past tense. So it's fascinating to see that. And that's what I'm going to show you. But I want you to be acquainted with the English so you won't have any trouble translating it because you'll know what they're talking about in English. And we will look and see how the verbs work. It's going to be so interesting. It's not so much what the verbs mean, but how the verbs change. And that's what we're studying. Okay, so let me give you a couple of words, and then I'm going to tell you a story. All right. This one up here, ear, is to go. Ear, I-R, means to go. So if you say, I go, voy. So if somebody calls you, come home, and then you say, voy, I'm coming, voy, I'm going, voy. And then if you ask another person, where you go, ¿dónde vas? ¿Dónde vas? Where are you going? Now remember why we put the S on it, ¿dónde vas? Because if you're speaking to a friend or to a buddy, you can put the S on it. And it makes it more friendly. So you can either just say, ¿dónde va? Or you can be friendly and say, ¿dónde vas? With the S on it. Okay? So, voy, I go. Vas, you go. Vamos. Everybody knows vamos means we go. The M-O-S, vamos. Vamos means let's go, we go. And then if you put it in, van, you're just saying it's lots of people. Van. People van. Okay, now I want to show you a couple of irregulars. There's always irregulars. Now, if you see iba, this one right here, iba, this is past tense to go. So to go past tense means I went, but it means over and over. It means I was going or I went, iba. And it doesn't change. The I form, the he form, they're all the same. It's iba, ibamos, ibad. But you'll see it a lot. And the other one that you'll see so many times is ser, is the mother, permanent mother to be. Soy, I am, and all those. Soy, somos, we are. But the imperfect used to be, I used to be, is era, E-R-A. And in all the stories, they'll start off, era, there was a town, era, a family, era, it means was. And we'll see it so often. So write those two words down to make sure you have iba and era. And I expect you to remember those because they're very, very common. Okay, now, so try not to be so long and getting help so I don't mess up my videos. But so next time I'm going to bring you a lot of sentences from John 10 and 11. And I want you to pick out the verbs, and I want you to tell me, are they present or past or whatever? And then you'll know what the mother verbs mean because you read it in English, right? Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story. It's a true story. After I got back from Russia and I was in China, and I didn't want to stay in the United States. I wanted to be a missionary someplace else. And I always go on my own. I never joined a group, hardly ever. But I thought, where could I go? Isn't that silly? I was thinking it instead of waiting for the Lord to tell me where to go. So I thought, Puerto Rico, that's got connection to the United States and not too far, and I have a pension to live on. So I said, okay, I'll go there. And it was a man on the airplane. He said, have you ever been to Puerto Rico? And I said, no, but I want to go there. And he just laughed at me because I had no idea what Puerto Rico was like, meaning how hot it was. And so right away, I did meet some missionaries there, and they were nice to show me around. But the heat bothered me. And I went in January. So you can imagine all the people hung out in the mall. The mall, there's a nice big modern mall. And it was air conditioned. So people after church, they all went to the mall, sat around, talked. And this was in January. Can you imagine? So I lived with a missionary family. They rented a really nice house, 2-story house with marble everywhere, marble floor, everything. And so I rented the upstairs because it had its own kitchen and it wasn't very much. And they were downstairs, but they had 7 dogs. And so I was always kind of worried about the dogs. But anyway, one day it rained really, really hard, and the carport would just have water on the marble. Can you imagine? And the steps were marble that went upstairs, and they were wet. So I was so worried that I was going to fall down and slip on the marble when it was just water everywhere. And so I asked the teenager that lived there, I said, well, just watch, help me get up to my room. And so I was really careful going up, up the steps, up the marble steps, up the marble steps. And when I came to my door, I was so relieved. I made it. So I took a grand step into my apartment, and the floor was covered with water. And my, my feet must have gone straight up because I landed on my head. And it sounded like a watermelon bursting. It was so loud when my head hit the marble. And the people downstairs heard. And so my head hit the marble so loud. And then my back hit, and then the rest of me came down. Can you imagine? I wish I had a picture of how high up in the air I went, because I was really happy. So anyway, and then I felt my neck, and there was blood running down my neck. And I said, oh, wow, I really bashed my head, because it was such a loud noise. I knew it was like a watermelon bursting. And so I called downstairs. Well, they heard the noise, and the daughter was already coming up the stairs to see what happened. And so I was laying on the marble, and I said, just check my head. Just look at my head and see how bad my head is, because I felt the blood. And I'm laying there. And she looked and looked. She looked and looked. And she said, all I see is a little scratch. And I said, really? So I got up with no injury at all. And I thought, how could that be? And my head didn't hurt at all. My head didn't hurt at all. And it had dried up, I guess a little scratch somewhere. And because I landed on my back, the next day, my back was a little bit sore, but not much. And I thought, Lord, that's the strangest thing, that I was not injured at all. But then I remembered and I understood. That morning, I had been very panicky about worrying that I was in Puerto Rico without anybody, any job or anything. And I really was panicking, and I got really scared. And so then I understood that the Lord was telling me that he was in control. And just one step, I could just be ruined. And so that it was not me to worry, because God was watching my steps. And I understood. So I laughed, and I said, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm not going to worry. I'm just going to follow you. But that was one of my stories. I have a bunch of them, and I'll keep telling them to you. All right, so I hope I get this video in the right place. Talk to you later.